Welcome to the RJI Futures Lab, where we help you make your organization more innovative. I'm Ruben Stern. This week, giving readers a way to act on what they read and a proofing tool that checks for style. The Boston Institute for Nonprofit Journalism, also known as BINJ, does in-depth reporting on public issues, but its real mission is to focus on solutions. Freelancers working for BINJ create multimedia journalism about problems around Boston. Each article includes an action box, a one-stop shop of ways readers can help fix the problems the article investigates.
The first story that we did with the Boston Institute for Nonprofit Journalism was about a pipeline that is being built in the face of much protest on the southern skirt of Boston. And we put, all the information. You want to contact your representatives. You want to contact the groups that are active on this. If there's an article about something, here are the groups involved, and it's not partisan. It could be on both sides of an issue.
The action box is one example of solutions journalism, not just reporting the problem, but providing readers with possible answers to an issue.
I've always, for a long time, said, that the article shouldn't really end at the bottom of the page. You know how many phone calls and emails I've gotten over the years and text messages, and that cause is really interesting. We'd like to get involved. Who can we contact? If we're talking solutions, we don't have to be out there building houses and fighting crime, but I think it's almost silly at this juncture to write these articles and then walk away.
One big problem BINJ set out to solve was helping under-resourced news organizations. Ferone was inspired after seeing community media outlets struggle to finance long-term investigative projects.
We're basically an incubator that helps independent publications like The Dig, but also a couple dozen others, do the kind of features, the kind of in-depth reporting that they otherwise can't really afford to do.
BINJ is planning the release of another story soon with an interactive action box where readers can tweet directly from the page. BINJ has 5 employees, including one in charge of business and a freelance manager to keep track of projects. A tool called Lingofy scans text files not only for spelling, but also for the finer points of a publication's style. Futures Lab reporter Daniel Shapiro shows us how it works.
When proofing a document, Lingofy will identify errors and recommend style changes for 3 different styles. One helps steer writing towards a short, flourish-free style known as plain language.
Plain language is basically the style that all U.S. governments are supposed to adhere to.
There's also the standard AP style book, and a third layer of proofing involves custom style books.
Every Lingofy user also gets the ability to customize their own local style guide so they can check for their own local style, proper names, public officials, anything that's important to them, what they're writing about. We've yet to meet a person or a publication that adheres to AP 100%, so yes, you can go in and you can modify your local style guide to override whatever items in AP you either disagree with or don't adhere to.
To use Lingofy, users download a browser extension or install it on their desktop. Once they click on the tool, it takes a moment to analyze the document.
It doesn't just look at one word at a time. It's actually looking at words on either side of a word to better determine what you were writing about or what you were trying to spell. So, it'll take the person's first and last name into consideration, whether or not you spelt their first and or last name correctly.
When done processing, the tool provides a list of suggested changes.
An entry like John Hopkins University. When Lingofy sees that, it's going to see John Hopkins and University, and it uses all 3 of those words to determine that it should actually be Johns Hopkins University.
In addition to fixing mistakes, Lingofy will provide context as to why a correction or recommendation is made.
It'll also bring you the reference information from the Associated Press. So during your proofing session, not only will tell you that you shouldn't write almost never, and that, and give you the option of seldom or hardly ever, it'll tell you why the Associated Press is suggesting that. So you get that reference information. So it's kind of a learning tool as well.
Lingofy's plain language version is free, while the AP style requires a yearly subscription. For the Futures Lab, this is Daniel Shapiro.
The AP style version of Lingofy is currently restricted to browser use only. And that's it for this report from the RJI Futures Lab. I'm Ruben Stern. We'll see you in the future.